Well, welcome back to another edition of Finance Uncut, where we talk everything finance and economics with an Austrian flavour. Let's get to it. Well, I wanted to share with you this very interesting article that's come out in the Fin Review. 1 in 5 borrowers have ghosted their bank. It's estimated that around 1 in 5 customers who opted to defer their home loan repayments are now ghosting their bankers. So ghosting simply means that they are avoiding any communication with their bank. But let's keep reading on and let's see what this article's got to say. The coronavirus pandemic has of course thrown up lots of problems for business leaders, but senior bankers face a novel challenge in working out how to manage the tens of thousands of home loan borrowers who have decided to ghost them. It's estimated that around 1 in 5 customers who opted to defer their home loan repayments are now ghosting their bankers. They are simply refusing to respond to phone calls, texts, letters, and emails from the banks. Now, this is not an insignificant number of would-be ghosters. According to figures provided by APRA, the banks still had about 414,000 deferred home loans, with a total value of $167 billion on their books at the end of July. Even if the banks have made some progress in whittling down the numbers of deferred home loans, it suggests that about 80,000 home loan borrowers who owe a little more than $30 billion have decided that their best financial strategy is to avoid having any sort of contact with their bankers. $30 billion, that is not an insignificant number at all. Let's keep reading on. But while borrowers might like to fantasize about spending their mortgage repayments indefinitely, their bankers are no longer in a position to extend this facility. Senior bankers pointed out that although APRA has given them capital relief on deferred home loans until March next year, the prudential regulator does require banks to form a view as to whether the borrower will eventually be in a position to resume payments. And this means that banks need to have conversations with their customers so that they can more accurately gauge their financial situation. Indeed, bankers say that the clear message they're getting from APRA is that the prudential regulator doesn't want banks to give the borrowers the impression that loans will be rolled out indefinitely. So where does that leave the tens of thousands of ghosters? One senior banker explained that people were obviously not talking to the banks in the hope that the problem might simply go away. Yeah, right. Maybe some people do think that way, I don't know. Anyway, but he added this situation could not continue indefinitely. Well, duh. He notes this will get a little bit sharper to get a response, he explained. He said that was why the banks were urging customers to talk to them before their 6-month home loan period ran out. 1 month after, 3 months after, the letters will get more severe, he predicted. But he shrugged. Then, of course, we'll get a bullying complaint. Well, there you have it, folks. What do you think? 80,000 home loan customers worth more than $30 billion just avoiding their banks now. Obviously in big crisis, and this is what happens when people get into financial stress, is they can't make a decision. They freeze. They just bury their heads in the sand. You know, I'm sure many of these people probably have got plenty of equity where if they were able to sell now, they could walk away with something. But these people, they suffer this financial stress and they freeze. They can't make a decision, and it ultimately burns them in the long run. And I've seen that in our business and seen it with customers. So yep, no, this doesn't look good, and however it plays out, yeah, it's not bullish, put it that way. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.